Let's talk about Mean Girls. And don't worry, this will be a spoiler-free review. So I am a huge Tina Fey fan. I love 30 Rock. I love the movie Baby Mama. I watched Only Murders in the Building because I knew she was going to be in it. And that is the reason why Mean Girls, starring Lindsay Lohan, is one of my favorite comedies of all time. So when I heard the Broadway musical was being made into a film, I was very excited. Now, even though I love the original movie, I had never heard any of the music from the Broadway musical. I had never watched the Broadway musical, so I was going into this really fresh and had no idea what to expect. I know a lot of hardcore Mean Girl fans are probably going to crucify me for this, but I liked this version better than the original. The music was fantastic, and I don't know why so many movies that are musicals refuse to advertise themselves as such. When I went to go see Greatest Showman, I was surprised by the first musical number because I had no idea it was going to be a musical. And if I hadn't already known that this was going to be a musical, it would have surprised me too because now the trailers show that. But I digress. Somehow, this movie got the exact same essence as the original and feeling of the original while updating it for a modern audience. And I know you might be thinking, well, Mean Girls came out like, what, 5-6 years ago? No, it came out 20 years ago. That movie's 20 years old. Tina Fey was only a few years older than me when she made that movie. I gotta get my crap together. But this movie was able to keep the same characters and vibe as the original while updating it to a literal new generation. A generation of kids raised by the high schoolers in the original movie. Age-wise, not literally. They aren't literally the kids of the students from the original movie. This movie was borderlining a rock opera. Regina George's theme, it was perfect. It had these amazing villainous undertones that I wasn't expecting from freaking Mean Girls. The original 2003 film is so light and fun and wacky, I was not expecting this one to be more serious and intense. And it was a change for the better. Don't get me wrong, the original Mean Girls is a masterclass in comedy. But this movie blows it out of the water. Also, the choreography, the camera work, the acting, everything was just top notch. I haven't laughed that hard in a long time. And I haven't felt for characters the way I did like this in a long time. I gave this movie a 9 out of 10. And I know I said this was a spoiler-free review, and the next thing I'm going to say might be somewhat of a spoiler, but it's my last point. And if you don't want even like a small, tiny, itty-bitty spoiler, just turn away now. We good? We good? Okay. My biggest problem with this movie, as well as the original Mean Girls, is that Janice never learns a lesson. Janice was Regina's friend and really hurt her. And you understand that. That makes sense that she would want revenge on Regina. But the problem is, she uses this girl who is not just new to the school, but new to teenage American culture. She's been living in the plains of Africa in a tent with her mom for like her entire life. She is so naive and innocent, and Janice just uses her as a pawn in her revenge against Regina. And gets upset with Katie when she kind of falls prey to the plastic lifestyle. And this movie even kind of doubles down on the fact that she never learns a lesson. She gets a whole musical number about how she would much rather be her than be with the people that hate her. And it's a great song. But there was never a moment where she apologizes for using Katie in the way she did. Yes, Katie is responsible for her own actions, but Janice pushed her into that. And Katie even says that in both versions of the movie right after the party scene. That, to me, is the only thing keeping this movie from being a 10 out of 10, is the fact that Janice doesn't learn a lesson and freaking apologize to Katie. I think they both needed to apologize to each other. So that is my review of Mean Girls. Let me know what you think, and I am looking forward to getting to do reviews again. You know, the strike happened, and then we had our first kid, And so going and seeing movies in theaters is very difficult right now, because we're either seeing them in the drive-in, which is not the best movie viewing experience, or I have to go see them by myself, and I don't like doing that because I don't like leaving Doni home alone while she takes care of our daughter. But I promise, more reviews will be coming. I always put like a quick review after I see a movie on my Instagram story, and I also at thosechristiangeeks.com, I put a written review.